as there is why to win the Euros. But anyway, there is some breaking football news.
Yeah, Darren's going to bring us the rest of the GA in just a moment, but Christian Pulisic's move to Chelsea has been confirmed for £58 million this morning. He's going to stay with Borussia Dortmund until the end of the season. And
he's only 20. I didn't realise that.
Yeah, obviously he was brilliant last season. He hasn't really lived up to the first season hype. He's American, which obviously makes his profile, it enhances his profile to a certain extent, to the extent that he's actually their next Freddie Adu. He is the single biggest thing that American soccer fans are hanging their
Freddie Adu never made it.
Well, true. Okay. Christian Pulisic has already had a better career than Freddie Adu.
Yeah, miles better. Yeah.
The thing he's an American that wants to play in Europe, not like McIlroy.
It's very true. It's an interesting kind of a whole political element to this in terms of Chelsea. Daniel Story, a football writer, just saw his tweets this morning, which kind of give food for thought. So Chelsea are signing 20-year-old Christian Pulisic for €64 million, which may force the 18-year-old Callum Hudson-Odoi to seek a move for £25 million. Both are extremely highly rated, but you do wonder if the two players were switched around, whether exactly the same would happen. And I really would. It would be a great experiment to take all the promising kids from the academies, put them into the Bundesliga, into the Premier League, into La Liga, into Serie A, and into Ligue 1, and see who makes it where. See how restricted the Premier League is to a youngster's progress, particularly with one of the top 6 clubs. I think there's a valid point in that.
Yeah. It's a fair point. I think a lot of the thing about development is that the most meaningful way to develop young players is to have them actually playing for points. It's why most of the academy system seems to be flawed in that they're playing in these reserve leagues that don't really matter. I think it's better for players' development if they go off somewhere and play maybe even lower leagues.
Well, if you look
at matches that matter.
Tammy Abraham has been absolutely amazing for Villa. Just every time you look up, sometimes he's missing, but generally he's scoring 2 goals a game at the moment, and
instead of playing reserve matches
for Chelsea. Yeah. So he's got a clause in his contract apparently that he can break the loan deal with Villa and join a Premier League team. So he'll probably get a move to the Premier League now and then get a move to somewhere else. Now, I don't know if they're always automatically going to be any good. Has Iheanacho been any good since he left City?
Not really. The thing is, he is.
I was surprised he left City because he did really, really well for half a season.
Yeah,
he was scoring when he was playing.
He is also behind Jamie Vardy in a system that really only rewards one striker. And
he's only 22. Check his age there as well. And Tammy Abraham's 21. So, there's definitely different ways to do this. But you see the benefit of getting games.
No question about it. I'll be mildly surprised if Christian Pulisic has a massive season for Chelsea next year. Of course, there has to be patience with a player of his age. But
well, he's the long-term replacement for Eden Hazard, isn't he?
Well, that's the thing.
You hope to get a season with Hazard showing Pulisic this is what you're supposed to be doing, and then he joins Real Madrid, and then you already have your player, and you've only spent 60 million on him instead of spending 120 million on him. But you can then sell him to, plus
Chelsea becoming a selling club then.
All of that sweet marketing money that you get from the States.
And it's a great way of actually maturing a player. You mentioned Tammy Abraham there, and the actual fact that if he goes and plays matches that matter, and he's not just with 18, 19, 20-year-old lads playing reserve matches, that the points are important, but at the same time they don't matter in the context of what a championship match means, and you're learning from older pros and you're maturing in a way that you just won't get at the academy system. I think there's a lot to be said for playing those senior matches and playing alongside guys you can learn from, instead of being in an echo chamber with kids your own age, where it's very hard to mature if you're surrounded by people who are young, naive, and still not maturing in the way they could be if they were in an environment with older people.
And there's no doubt that somewhere along the way Chelsea have a buyback clause at a very reasonable rate. If they, if say they sell Tammy Abraham to somebody else, they'll be able to buy him back at some point.